Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are all keep safe and stay at home. After 1 week, we are meeting now. So we'll continue the syllabus now. We are going to see the third unit prose, Old Man River, written by Dorothy Deming. This lesson is about like a drama. And the theme of this lesson is handling disasters with courage. The river was above flood stage, and actually the name of the river is Old Man River. The river was above flood stage. It was also above the white line at Thompson Bridge. Emmy's mother and father were not in home. The Burnett Dam gave away an hour ago. The telephone was dead. Power was also cut. They filled all their tubs and pails with rainwater, and they collected all things needed in emergency like flashlight, candles, oil stove, etc. And Jim climbed the roof and waved his flashlight from the roof of the house for getting help from someone, but no one was there in the highway, and they went to sleep in the attic. And they motivated themselves to handle that critical situation. And the river touched the playhouse. After that, the Red Cross rescue team in a boat rescued them, except Amy and Jim. They are waiting for another one. So this is the outline of the lesson, and we'll enter into the lesson. Actually, as I told you, this lesson is like a drama. So there are some characters in this drama. Emmy Marshall, 17-year-old, and Betty Marshall, her younger sister. Rosefield, 16-year-old, the Marshall's neighbor, and Sarah Field, 9 years old, Rose's sister. Jim Hall, 17 years old, another neighbor. Mr. Peters, member of the Red Cross Disaster Committee, and Penny Marsh, Red Cross nurse. The time of the play is late afternoon in March, and the setting of this play is living room of the Marshall home. This drama contains, there are two scenes. Now we are going to see the first scene on the stage at rise. At rise means they are raising the curtain. When they are raising the curtain, there are some characters on the stage. That means Emmy, Betty and Rose are sitting around the living room table. Emmy and Rose are knitting. That means they are knitting some like sweaters, cloth like. Betty is looking at pictures in a magazine, and the stage is not very bright. That means it looks little dull because it is the rainy season. Because of that, it looks dark very early. So now Rose is saying something. Rose, goodness, it gets dark early on these rainy days. Mind if I raise the shade a bit, Emmy? Actually, Rose asked Emmy to raise the curtain because it looks dark very early. Because of the rainy season, it looks very dark. So she wanted to raise the curtain. So she asked permission to Emmy. Next, Emmy. No, do, but I guess we need the light on too. She goes over and puts on the electric light. She said, no need to raise the curtain, but this brightness is not enough for us, so we'll put on the light, she said, and she puts on the light. Next, Rose, going to the window, how it rains in sheets, and look, your backyard is a small lake. So when she saw the outside of the house through the window, their backyard is filled with full of water. It looks like a small lake. So Amy said, joining Rose at the window, gracious, I have never seen it rain so hard, and this is the third day of it. So continuously it's raining. So that day was the third day of. Next, Betty puts down magazine and runs to the window. Wee! It's more than a lake, it's a sea. The radio said the river was above flood stage this morning, whatever that means. So now Betty said, actually, through the radio, very early they announced about this flood. So it's not like a lake, more than that, it looks like a sea, she said. And Amy, it means that the water is above that white line on the bank at Thompson Bridge. It must have covered the South Meadows and the highway there. She said that the water level is about the white line on the bank of the Thompson Bridge. Next, Rose. It isn't only the rain, it is the snow melting in the hills in the northern part of the state. So why it rains like the reason, she said. The girls returned to the table. Oh, I hope we don't have a flood here. There is a noise of stamping feet and someone breathing hard. The girls all looked to the right, the direction of the sound. So when they are conversing among with them, they heard some stamping feet and breathing hard sound. So they all turned over there, the direction of the sound. There, Jim Hall, entering from right in shining wet raincoat and rain helmet, which he drags off as he enters, he is panting. Gosh, girls, it's a doubt burst. He kicks off his shoes. I have run every step of the way from school to get here. The river is rising fast. The Burnett Dam gave way an hour ago, and they say, and it looks bad. Where is your mother, Emmy? So when he enters Jim Hall, he drops off his helmet and raincoat, everything, and he narrated about the flood, about around the, not only around the house, that area fully, how the water, the flood is. So everything he narrated to that girls, and and he asked Amy, where is their mother? Now Amy answered. Amy, she took Dick to the dentist and was going to stop at Mrs. Brand's for a recipe on her way home. She ought to be here soon. So Amy replied to Jim, and she said she went to the dentist, and she wanted to, that means Amy's mother wanted to inquire about some recipes. So very soon she'll be back, she said. Amy answered to Jim. So now Jim, and your father? Now he inquired about their father. Amy answered, in Chicago on business. But why all the questions, Jim? She said, Amy's father went to Chicago on business. So, and she asked, why are you asking all these questions? She asked. Jim said, well, you see, he is interrupted by the ring of the telephone. Amy exits left to answer it. Her voice can be heard clearly. So in the meantime, they heard the telephone sound, so they attended that call. Amy, hello. Yes, mother, I know. Isn't it awful? How will you get home? Yes, mother, I'm listening carefully. Amy's voice grows very serious. Yes, 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 I will. No, mother, no, I won't. Jim Hall is here and Rosefield too. Yes, all right, I'll tell them. Goodbye. Amy returns to the room. Actually, these are all, Amy conversed with her father through the telephone. So, mother can't get home from Mrs. Brand's. The bridges between here and town are underwater. Rose, mother says you are to telephone your mother right away.